This month's TV 47 Star Student of the Month.
And his name is Cole Roberts. He is a senior at Lincoln High School. And Cole, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Good to have you with us today. What's it like being a senior at Lincoln High School?
It's really nice, honestly. We do like a lot of STEM-based projects and stuff like that, especially recently. The other day, I was an ambassador to lead around some people from UAB and Auburn.
Wow.
Along with the superintendent. So just seeing like what we do in the school on like a bigger scale is really cool.
Okay. Cole, who's your family?
So my dad is Randy Roberts, who is the CMP coordinator for all the schools, and he helps run the real estate company with my mom, Heather Roberts, and my two sisters, Harley and Haley. Harley is in grad school at UAB, and Haley is still over at Montebello.
Wow. You got any pets?
So many.
So many to name, right?
Yeah, we have two dogs, Charlotte and Lulu. Charlotte's our outside dog, Lulu's our inside. And then we have a bunch of cats, some who just kind of go inside and outside. Just depends on the day of the week, honestly.
I understand. Cole Roberts, who's a senior at Lincoln High School, second in his class at Lincoln High with a 4.0 GPA average. And I mentioned to Cole before we came on the show, he's going to have to pick that average up a little bit. You're working on it, right?
I'm trying my best, honestly.
How do you do so well with your education, your classes, and stuff like that?
Honestly, it's just time management. I'm doing my homework and classwork, along with like doing drone video editing and 3D printing and stuff like that. So I have a planner. I try to keep to the schedule as best I can. It doesn't always work out, but I just try to keep a basic time schedule, sort of.
When did you begin the process of excelling to the point where you are now?
I would say probably ninth grade-ish, because once I got in ninth grade, I was like, I set the goal for myself to never make a B in high school, to try and keep a 4.0. So I think that's around the time when it happens. But I started like the drone stuff a bit earlier.
Some of the classes you're taking your senior year?
I'm taking like AP Cal, AP Chemistry, AP Lit, and those are like the main ones I'm taking, the main ones I have to focus on.
Does it come easy to you?
Some stuff,
yeah.
I'd say. Like, I've always been more of a math and science person than I have been an English and history person. So this year, taking English and government, I'm having to focus on both of them. But I've already taken AP history, so I didn't have a history class last year, so I'm trying to get back in the swing of things.
Yeah.
But the math and science, that they usually come a bit easier to me than the history and the English.
Who's some of the teachers at school this year?
So my math teacher is Miss Edmondson. She's a great math teacher, one of the best I've ever had. And then Miss Russell is my AP Lit teacher. She's a very good English teacher. My chemistry teacher is Miss Roberts. She's an amazing chemistry teacher. She actually used to be a chemist before she was a teacher. And my government is Coach Linderman, and he's done a really good job about teaching me the ins and outs.
Outside the classroom, you're very active as well in numerous happenings. What are some of those?
I do cross country, and I also do track. I used to play soccer, but I'm not doing it this year. I also do SGA. We're having elections pretty soon, and I plan on running for president for it. And just some other stuff, like Skills USA.
Cross country. You can think a lot when involved in cross country. How do you keep focused on a cross country event like that?
So especially on race day, you do like, I'd say like a week's worth of prep. You have to be hydrated, you have to be properly stretched, have the proper diet and stuff like that. So it's just like a week's worth of prep time all coming together to lead to this moment, sort of. That's sort of the mindset I enter. And I always try to run my hardest every race, because I've always had the thought process, cross-country races are more of a race against yourself than a race against other people, because you're always trying to beat your time.
You have to be disciplined when you're...
Right. So I always just try to beat my time and get a PR every meet.
Okay. Now, Rocketry Club, what's that?
Basically, we build rockets and we take them to a competition and shoot them in the sky and hope for the best. So basically what we do is we'll build the rocket. We have eggs in them as like the payload, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And we just have to shoot it off, and there's certain times and certain like altitudes we have to get, and if it doesn't crack, we did good. And if we got those altitudes and the times that we needed to get, then we get more points.
How high is high?
I'm pretty sure like the highest we go is around 400 to 500.
Yeah.
I think anything above that we don't really do, but you have to hit that within like 30 seconds, and it also has to be on the ground within like 20 more seconds.
Okay. All right. Cole Roberts is a senior at Lincoln High School, is our guest this morning, 4.0, great average. He is very, very involved in his school and has got a great future. And you got hobbies that is kind of crazy for a lot of us. And one of those hobbies includes piloting drones. Talk about that.
So it all kind of started out when I got a drone for my birthday, I want to say. It was like my 12th birthday, and I just started flying it around until the point where I could like land it on like a glass table like this big.
Yeah.
Around that. And I ended up getting a better one. It was a DJI Standard 3, and I started using it to help out with my parents' real estate company, like doing videos for them. And it just kind of progressed to the point where I'm doing it for schools and like people and stuff like that.
Yeah,
now.
you actually took first place in engineering and piloting at the Southeastern Research Drone Boot Camp, sponsored by Southeastern Research and UAB, and this is kind of making your own creation, isn't it?
Yes, sir. So basically what we did was we went into Tinkercad, which is a 3D printing program, and we had to design a drone, and then we had to build it using all the mechanisms, mechanics, and stuff like that, and then we had to fly it in a competition.
So for people who may be watching that may not be real up to speed on drones, what is a drone and what is its purpose?
There's a lot of purposes, but the main one I use it for is photography and videography. It's basically just, it has 4 propellers and it moves on an XYZ axis. And you just fly it around, and there's certain buttons that you can press to take photos and videos. But they're used in a ton of different things like search and rescue, seeing where people are, and stuff like that.
Video games. You seem like the kind of guy that would excel in video games.
I do like playing video games. When I do have free time, I'm usually playing like Rocket League or like the new Spider-Man games, or maybe just like Call of Duty or something like that.
I need to get my grandson with you. He's 11 years old and he's into all that stuff, so you'd probably be a good teacher for him. Now, what about plans after graduation?
I plan on going to UAB, hopefully, and going for biomedical engineering and getting my minor in mechanical engineering. That's always been the school I've really looked at, especially since they have a really good biomedical program. However, Auburn is also up there because they're a really good engineering program.
Why this field?
I've just always had the want to help people, because what I want to do is I want to make prosthetics cheaper and more available to people. And you see people walking around who can't afford one, or can't even afford a really basic one. So I just think that's not right, and I think that should be a human necessity that people should be able to have.
Absolutely. Cole Roberts is our star student of the month. He's a senior at Lincoln High School, and Cole, we're through the first third of the year almost, and what is different your senior year. I know we're dealing with COVID and all that kind of stuff, and we dealt with it last year and just turned things topsy-turvy. How's it been so far this year?
It's been pretty good so far. There haven't been like too big of problems with COVID and stuff like that. You know, kids are wearing their masks. Kids are also, you know.
Do you like wearing masks?
I don't mind it. I mean, if it helps people out, it helps people out. That's really the basic point of it. So if I can do anything to help people who like can't get the vaccine out, then I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
If you have like underlying health issues that lead to you not being able to get the vaccine, then, you know.
You seem to have your head on straight most days, and but one of those days where you hit a bump in the road, who's your go-to person?
I'd say any member of my family, or probably like my girlfriend or something. They're all people who like keep me grounded and make sure I know what I'm doing most of the time, honestly. But also the teachers at Lincoln are really easy to talk to. Like my rocketry teacher and my like Skills USA teacher, Brian Kelly. He's really good for stuff like that and just talking to him.
You know, you got a lot of good things going on in your life and excelled in your education, continue to do that. But what keeps you grounded?
Honestly, just the thought of helping people. That's always been my thing. Like, I want to help people in my future. So I think that's always been the thing that's kept me grounded and focused on my goals, is the thought that I can make people's lives better by helping them out.
All right. Cole Roberts, our Star Student of the Month. He's second in his senior class at Lincoln High School, 4.0 GPA. He is very, very involved in his school and outside the school as well. Plans to pursue a degree in biomedical engineering at UAB or Auburn. And I got a feeling you're going to do very, very well for yourself.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you coming this morning. He's looking right here in this camera, ladies and gentlemen. His name is Cole Roberts. He is our Star Student of the Month.